You rock, my friends. You Rock podcast is for women like you who want to own your life and live an engaged and joyful life. Hosted by Dr. Aliyah Majid, mom of 3, devoted wife, and a scientist turned life coach on a mission to empower women to take control of their lives. In this podcast, we deliver tools, insights, and inspiration on rocking your own life, owning to your highest potential, and becoming the best version of you. Now, here's your host, Dr. Aliyah Majid.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Hi Maria, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. Welcome to my podcast show. I'm quite new also in this podcasting, so I'm really glad that you are interested to join me today.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me and having me here.
Yeah. So Maria, how is it in Alberta, Canada right now? Is it?
Alberta, Canada is pretty good right now. The weather over here, it's quite pleasant right now. But soon the winters will start and the winter gets really cold here.
Yeah, I heard that winter in Canada really cold. But I always been one of the places that I would look forward to go in my life might be Canada because we here is in Malaysia it's really hot.
Oh, I know. And
Yeah.
see, I'm from Pakistan. So Pakistan, it's also quite hot in summer.
Yeah.
Pakistan has long summers and Canada has long winters.
So it is something new to you. But I think you have been in Canada for quite a long time right now.
Yes, I moved to Canada in 2004. And so now it's been what, 16 years, I think, 17. Yeah, in this September, I think it'll be 17 years.
Wow.
Ah, man, half of my life here.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
So Maria, before we go any further, let me briefly read your bio that I have right here. So Maria,
sure.
Maria, she is a business owner for several business. I know.
Yeah.
She's a multi-talented, multi-passionate online entrepreneur.
Thank
is that
you.
Right? And she'll be starting her online Islamic education session for children and adults. She makes her own organic grass-fed ghee, and she also assisted Muslim women in starting their home daycare business. So welcome, Maria, to our podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So from what I heard about your businesses, you have so many different passions, and what makes you do what you do right now? Why do you do what you do?
So I've always wanted to have something of my own that I can work with my own values and my own beliefs, basically. I was a teacher in Pakistan, back home. And when I moved here, I did my early childhood education in 2006 and 7. And then from there to now, I have worked with children of different age groups and families and stuff. So slowly I wanted to do something of my own, but I never got a chance. There was not enough resources, or it just never clicked. And I guess it was not the right time, maybe. So then during pandemic, I think that's a silver lining of COVID, that it came in these ideas started coming in my head, because I was seeing all over around me, people were losing jobs. It was just a chaos, basically. So I was like, okay, how about what can I do to help? what can I do, something different that can make even a little tiny difference. I would love to do that. So that's where I started picking up, and that's where these ideas of me making my own body butters, that's where I started. I was living in Manitoba, and it just started. I just went to Chapters bookstore with my son, and I saw a small lip balm, making a lip balm kit. So I said, okay, that's where I got this idea. So yeah, and from there, and then I also wanted to give some, like, poor ladies, poor women in Pakistan, like interior side of Pakistan where I'm from. I wanted them to have some, an opportunity to earn and be independent, financially independent. And it's not easy over there for women to have that financial freedom. So yeah, little by little, that's where I started, and that was my reason of doing that. But then COVID happened, and then there are so many issues started coming up, and borders started closing, so that did not work out. um yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like when you said that you are trying making a different, although we all are facing the same pandemic, but how we react to it is differently. So yeah, I really inspired by a person like you who in times of stress like some of us are facing and losing job and so on, we instead of only focusing on the things that we cannot control, we try to do some things that maybe it's not that much, but we try to make a difference in just focusing maybe on one person's life, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you wish you had known when you started out in this business journey? So can you share a little bit to me, because I am
Yeah.
also still new in this.
Yes, absolutely. So when we plan on starting a business, there is so many things that is included in running a business. It's not as simple as you wake up one day, you have an idea, and you start your business, basically, right? It's not that simple. I wish it was, but it's not. So now the amount of information, Alhamdulillah, I have. When I started, I had no idea. I didn't even know that I was supposed to make, because I'm not a business. I've never studied like business or any of that. So uh, I remember when I was making my body butter. So Alhamdulillah, I received a very big order from a store, from an organic store in Manitoba, and they asked me to give them like a big amount of body butters and lip balms. So I did that, but then I wasn't sure. I was like, okay, so I just deliver it and that's it, because I know there was nobody who was assisting me or anything, right? So she's like, where is the invoice? And I'm like, am I supposed to give you invoice?
Yeah.
So I'm, and all those things, I right now when I think about those things, I really enjoy them, because I'm like, oh man, I mean, here is a store lady, a manager, and she's like, okay, so give me the invoice so I can pay. I can send, start the payment process. And I thought, I don't know why I was thinking that she has to give me something. So I'm waiting, and then I'm like, can I see your manager again? Because she asked me that she has to give me something. And then the manager came, and she's like, no, you have to give me invoice. I'm like, oops. So, these little mistakes, but they teach you amazing things, the enormous amount of learning that happens. And I really, I'm a firm believer that when you do work yourself, the amount of learning that you get is beyond that any book can teach you.
Mm-mm.
Like your experiences basically teaches you huge deal of learnings and everything. So yeah, so now I think that I wish somebody told me how to do these steps.
Yeah, I think that is quite true. For being an entrepreneur, we have to be okay with making mistakes and laugh about it,
Yes,
because
yes,
this is
yes,
the what we will learn in the long term, and make sure that whatever these mistakes are right now, we are learning
absolutely.
to become better and improve whatever we are trying to do every day, right?
Absolutely. And that's what I do with my son too. That's what I tell my son, because
Mm.
whenever he does any mistake, I said, well, you are supposed to make mistakes.
Yes,
If you
yes.
don't make mistakes, then that means something is wrong.
Yeah, I agree with you, because sometimes I think
You cannot.
the education system sometimes are really afraid of the kids
Yes.
making mistake, and they are
True.
afraid to make mistake. I have
Yeah.
three kids of my own, so but sometimes I when they make mistake and they become scared of it, I say, no, don't be scared. I'm not angry. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay to make mistake. You learn from this experience, and
Right.
these are the things that we want to impart to our earlier for the kids and for the younger generations, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Because I remember when I was a child at school, we were told not to make mistakes. We were
Yes.
told that your work has to be perfect.
Mm-mm.
You are supposed to be getting A's and stars
Mm.
all the time.
Yes.
And I don't know how is that possible because not everybody is perfect. No, nobody's
Yeah.
perfect, you know.
And I agree with you, because right now, the current situation in Malaysia is that we are schooling our kids. So it is hard, because things are not easy in terms of sometimes both parents and are working, and we have multiple kids. So making sure that they
Yes,
have the same education like maybe some other household, it's not, it's impossible, right? Maybe some people can devote their attention 100% to that one kid, and replace
absolutely.
that sort of teacher's figure, but most of us, we have to make do with whatever we have at whatever time and
Yes,
resources that we have at home.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. So so how do you overcome the challenges that you face when you sometimes, in building a business? I think some of the challenges that I have is like the inner critics. I think is my biggest challenges. So what challenges are you facing?
Well, I personally, I feel that challenges will be there always. Basically, your perspective changes with
Mm,
time, with experiences and everything. So initially, like I told you, the little details I did not know anything about.
mm,
Um, so of course, I used to get this feelings that, oh, people are going to think that, here she's running a business and she doesn't even know how what are the small details of the business.
mm,
And I it was hard for me to find a source who can teach me without me spending thousands of dollars, because the sessions and the courses, they're quite expensive. And
mm,
if I'm not earning anything, it'll be definitely difficult for me to spend money,
mm,
on anything that I want to learn. So
mm,
basically my whole idea was for myself to have the small little sessions with my own self, and I would sit and I would write down in my journal and diaries. I would listen to small like lectures from different scholars, how to overcome your own weaknesses, and
mm,
how to tell yourself that you can do it. And
mm,
the small little lectures I used to listen to,
mm,
and then I used to write, because I feel so good when I write.
mm,
That's how I feel that it's staying in my head. Otherwise, I feel that, oh, I forgot everything. So I used to just write, and then I used to write my notes for myself. myself,
Mm.
like small letters for my own self.
Mm.
That, for example, like after 2 years, I can go back and read those letters that I wrote about for my own self, and I would tell myself that yes, this is a difficulty, and this is what we are going through right now, but it will go, it will pass. We will overcome this, inshallah, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right now, what we are supposed to do is, and then I will write down the steps that this is what I need to do. That could be anything, like maybe checking YouTube videos about how to market my product, stuff like that.
Mm.
So, but yeah, I mean, with time, challenges will always be there. Even right now, there are different type of challenges, but that's just part of life.
Mm.
But the whole idea here is how you deal with those challenges and how you do not let yourself sit and fall back and giving up.
Mm.
That's what's important. So alhamdulillah, with the help of Allah and lots of prayers,
Mm.
lots
Mm.
of du'as, lots of du'as, yeah, that
Yeah.
helped. Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, agree with you on the fact that it's not like when we are showing ourselves like being a successful person, or the whatever the perception is that by the outside people, people who are looking at us in certain ways,
Yeah.
that we don't have our own struggles. Maybe the struggles become much bigger, but the fact that we have to learn how to never give up and deal with these challenges is one of the important life skills, I might say. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And quite honestly, I mean, we are all human.
Mm.
It's not. I mean, nobody can say that. Oh, every day was a perfect day, or every day I felt, a good boost of, the positivity and all. That was not the case. There were days when I felt like I don't think it's gonna ever work, or what am I doing? I gave up my job and I'm starting this business. All those thoughts, they
Mm.
were coming in my head. But then again, are you are you allowing those thoughts to keep on going in your head and mess around with your own goal that you have for yourself, or you're stopping those thoughts and it's fine? So that's where I was making sure that alhamdulillah that I check it, that okay, is it getting too much? If it is, then maybe I should take a break,
Mm.
and then and then move forward, because otherwise it's not worth it. Otherwise it won't work. It will never work, especially when you don't have a help, you don't have a big team who is doing different jobs for you, like one for doing the computer stuff, one for admin stuff, and all of that. If you are the only person who is doing your business, then of course the ups and downs come, and they sometime you really fall and you are like, you feel so bad.
Mm.
But then alhamdulillah, you just have to get up and then start.
Yeah. So what you mentioned just now about thoughts, it is something that I have been facing and struggling about lately also, because prior to starting all of this, I think I never really, sit down and assess myself whether I'm thinking positive thoughts or negative thoughts,
Mhm.
because sometimes it becomes like this natural cycle of um, negative thinking towards my own self, and that is
Yes.
becoming the biggest blockages for me, at least. So
Yes.
when I learned that there is a difference between emotions and thoughts, and that emotions is the natural response to certain circumstances, like when you are hot, you feel hot, and when something happen, maybe you get angry, and that sensation is in your body, but the thoughts is what come after that. So when I learned about these two things and separating them, meaning that you can get angry at the situation that you are in, but the thoughts that come after that, you can control the thoughts that come after that. So this is really beautiful, and I think this is the thing that everybody needs to know, but sadly we don't know about this.
That's true, and absolutely true. And I used to listen to I forgot the name of the Ustaza, teacher. She's from Jannah Institute. I don't remember her name. I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
But she used to, like, she has different lectures, and some of her, I mean, most of her lectures are really nice and motivational, and that's where I was getting motivation and listening to different scholars, and and just to spend some time with your own self has a huge impact on. That's what I feel. And then I also believe that negativity is very heavy,
Mm-hmm.
when, and negativity is everywhere, just like positivity. But because negativity, I feel, that's my personal opinion, negativity is so heavy that it comes and it just sits and makes you tired, and you feel like you just cannot get up, you feel like you're going to give up. And that's when you really have to spend time with yourself, and you really have to check that, okay, what's going on, and what are the thoughts that are causing that negativity, what are the situation that am I into certain situation that is triggering some negative thoughts, or if I'm listening to something that is causing me having that negativity. So once I was checking it, I was, alhamdulillah, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I was able to identify, and then lots of zikr, lots of astaghfar. That's like a cure for your heart diseases, right? Because that's like exactly, it exactly works like an ointment. You have a wound, and you have to clean it with astaghfar, and then the ointment is the zikr, and you just have to keep on doing it, and and you do feel a difference. And with lots of du'as, you do. It's not possible that Allah will just leave you, and you are asking him to help. So that's what, that was a huge help. And alhamdulillah, I one thing I felt was that nothing is impossible, and it's not like, okay, this thing is not working, now I think I'm not good enough, or I don't think I can do it. No, if this is not working, okay, think about what else can you do, because every single person is has so many skills. You don't have just one skill. You would have a skill of sewing, you will have a skill of cooking, and just talking, just a good talk. Or some people have a skill of singing, anything. But what we do is that we are just so busy in this busy life, we forget to see ourselves. We don't even pay attention to ourselves. The only time we pay attention to ourselves when we get sick. That's about it. But other than that, we are just busy with kids, with work, with house stuff, with just everything. So, and that's when I feel that just look inside you, and you will find this treasure of things and skills that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. So just use it and try. See if it works. If it doesn't work, it's okay. Try something else.
Yeah, that's so beautiful, subhanallah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned just now that starting off earlier in your business, when you are not making enough money yet, you learn from various lectures and so on, but then you maybe starting to invest more in your learning. So when is the time that you think is appropriate, when you need to start investing more on learning to scale your business?
So see, it depends on what you're doing, right? For example, if with in my case, I started doing the body butters, right? Organic body butters. Now, I did not have any idea of any details of how the body butters work. What are the formulas, and how to do it, how to create it, and then and then there's so many other regulations that I had to follow, help from Health Canada and all of that. Like, I didn't know all those details. So when I started it, and then and I wanted to do it everything properly, with following all the laws of the state and the regulations. When I started it, and I realized and I read about the rules, that's when I thought that, okay, I need some training in this, because if I want to do it, I might as well do it properly. So I need someone to tell me. But then again, the same thing, I was not able to invest financially into like expensive coaching classes and courses. So
Mhm.
YouTube was my go-to.
Mhm.
And there was some there are institute who offer classes, but then they do free sessions on YouTube's as well. So that helped me.
Mm.
But because of COVID, it just did not work.
Mm.
And locally there was not a good market in Manitoba. It did not have a good market at that time. Maybe at least it did not work for me. Maybe. Um, so and then at that time I said, okay, if this did not work, that's fine. What else can I do? I mean, I cannot just sit and be depressed that, okay, I'm not good enough just because my one try did not work,
Mm.
because that's just not fair.
Mm.
And then I started thinking, okay, what else can I do? And then I said, okay, how about I create some, that grocery bags. We can sew the grocery bags, and
Mm.
then I can ask ladies in Pakistan, the interior Sindh ladies who can sew the grocery bags and all of that. We started all of that, but then again that stopped because
Mm.
again COVID happened.
Mm.
It was too difficult for the shipments to come. There were so many other issues happening,
Mm.
and I said, okay, now what else can I do?
Mm.
And then I started, well, because I'm an ECE, early childhood educator,
Mm.
for almost 20 years now. I've been in this field. So I said, okay, I can start a home daycare from my home. So I started home daycare, and I was following all the rules and regulations. But then we had to move from Manitoba because my husband got a job in Alberta.
Mm.
So I said, okay, wrap it up. We'll go to Alberta. When we came here, I'm like, okay, now what? Because we are staying in a rental property it's a rental home, so it's not easy to find a rental place that the landlord can. It's not easy for them to allow you to open a home daycare at the property, at their own property, which I understand. I guess maybe I would do the same. So I said, okay, what can I do now? Because I need to do something.
Mm.
And then I started making ghee. Ghee is it's the fat, the
Mm.
clarified butter.
Mm.
I started making that, and I started selling it on Facebook Marketplace,
Mm.
and I was getting customers. So Alhamdulillah, I make a fresh batch of ghee on every weekend,
Mhm.
and then I only make so much that is sold during the week. So Alhamdulillah, I'm doing that. Um, and then meanwhile, I said, okay, I want to do something that I can use my expertise and my experiences, which is teaching. So now I'm starting, inshallah, from next week as Islamic sessions for children, where I will teach them Islamic education, inshallah, and the heart purification sessions for Muslim girls who want to, who feel depressed
Mm.
and heavy and who don't know what to do in life.
Mm.
So it's for that. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's beautiful. Like you mentioned just now, you're making this Islamic education. I think from your heart it'll be accessible because it'll be online, right?
Yes, it is
Yeah,
online.
yeah, because previously I was living in Japan with my kids, so I have this hard time because Japan, most of them are non-Muslims, so it's hard for me to find a person who can give this education online. So there was a time when Zoom meeting is not a common thing to do, right? So
Yes, yes,
Alhamdulillah, from this COVID and pandemic experience, people are more open
yes,
towards receiving
absolutely,
education from,
absolutely. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I honestly, I feel very strongly about this, that it's not that you cannot learn anything. You can learn everything that you want,
Mm.
because right now literally the learning is right in front of you. All you have to do is just to pick and choose where do you want to go and what
Mm.
do you want to learn.
Mm.
And if you find that you want, if like, if for example, if anybody wants to start a business XYZ, anything, and but she thinks that, oh, I don't think I can do it, or it's just too difficult, that right there will stop you from thinking, and moving forward, right? At that time you say, okay, I know I don't know a lot about this, how about I learn it? So that's when you invest in yourself.
Mm,
But don't put too much money in it, because if you don't have money,
mm,
so then there are so many free resources as well. There is a Skillshare, there's this website that teaches you free workshops,
mm,
and there's so many platforms that you can learn. But you know, intention is the key. If you have the intention,
mm,
uh, you can do it. It's
mm.
not like you cannot. Yeah.
Yeah, every deed starts from intention, right? Yeah. So
Absolutely.
Maria, what are you're passionate about right now? What are you curious about right now, other than building your business? And maybe you can share something that interesting about your life.
Yeah. uh, I I love to help. I mean, in any way. Basically, the more what I am more passionate about is guiding young girls, young Muslim girls,
Mm,
in making their, choosing their future career, you know,
mm,
and just thinking that they are capable of doing so much,
mm,
just because the situations are not the same, just because they live in, any country which is not first world country,
mm,
just because they don't have enough resources, that
mm,
means they cannot be successful. That is a wrong thinking. You understand it, and then go with that passion. So my whole passion right now is just to help the young Muslim girls, to help them see their own self, their own true purpose of life, and then help them in picking their future goal, setting their future goal, because there are many girls who think that just because they live in a small city, in a small town, that means they cannot achieve what other girls can who live in North America, let's say, for example.
mm,
But I do, that's I really do believe, and I want to tell as many girls as I can, Muslim girls especially, that no matter where you live, no matter where you live, no matter what your situations are, if you know your purpose, if your intentions are clean, and if you really are serious about it, you can achieve just about anything, that you put your heart and mind into, basically. Yes, there will be challenges. Yes, there will be difficulties, but yes, it's possible. So basically, that's what I want to. This is my goal, and I have started this purification of heart sessions. So currently, I have 5 students registered, inshallah, starting from next week, where we will be going through different exercises of checking ourselves, checking our intentions, and see where we stand, and then going from there and see what our goals are, where we want to be, and
mm,
what we want to do in our life. And yeah, and then I also have another sessions where I am teaching young girls, young Muslim girls. They live in, interior side of Pakistan, teaching them that they can do it if they want,
mm,
basically. Yeah, so this is where my passion is, and teaching of course our children about our beautiful religion of Islam, because there's so much hate in this world, and this world is showing so much hate about for our beautiful religion, and our children
mm,
have no idea
mm,
what our religion actually is, because they see so many mixed messages from around the world, around them, right? They're from
mm,
schools and media, cartoon, and the games. So just to tell them what actually Islam is all about. So
mm,
that's where my Islamic sessions are starting. And what I love about it is that, because I have the experience of working with children for almost 20 years now, alhamdulillah, so I can use that experience and all my knowledge in creating a program, Islamic education program for
mm,
children, where I can teach them according to their age group. So if so I have groups of like, I have 3 groups for now,
Mm.
and each group has only 5 children. And the reason why I only have 5 children, because I want to give proper attention to each and every child that I have in the group. And it's based on the age. So one group is from 4 to 6, the other one is from 7 to 9, and then it's 10 to 12.
Mm.
So that's my passion. This is where I'm at right now.
Oh, okay. How can people, is this the ongoing, I mean, the intake, is it ongoing for the students to register in your Islamic education classes?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. They
Yeah,
can register anytime. And I have
anytime.
options available for if the child is comfortable in groups, studying
Mm.
in group or individual, because I know some children are okay studying in a group, and some children are not comfortable learning in group settings
Mm.
on the computer.
Mm.
So I have individual sessions as well. So currently I have children in both the sessions, alhamdulillah.
Mm.
So yeah, children can register anytime, and there is no limit that, like, it's not for 3 months or 5 months or 1 year. This is ongoing, and it completely depends on the child, when the child feels comfortable and when the child decides not to continue. It's come entirely up to them.
So where can the audiences find you in case they are interested in your program? So where can they find and register for the
Yeah,
sessions?
so I have my Instagram, Learn with Maria. I will send. I don't know if I sent you that handle
Oh
for
yeah, I have it. So it's the
yes.
for the Islamic session is the Learn with
Yes,
Maria.
Learn
Okay.
with Marias, yeah. And I will add that heart purification session in that as well, because I those are not started yet. They will be inshallah starting from next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, the one after,
Mm.
inshallah. So I'll be adding that information there as well. But currently, I'm only using Instagram messages to get the questions and answering them if parents have any. I
Mm.
don't have a set website currently for now for the
Mm.
sessions. Yeah, but inshallah soon, inshallah, once I started it, it starts and continues, then inshallah I'll invest into a website where it'll be easy for parents to find and enroll if they like.
Yeah, okay. So I put the Instagram handle at the podcast notes after this, and yeah, here is there anything that I should have asked but I didn't that you want to share a little bit more?
I think that's pretty much it, and I would really like to tell whoever is listening and whoever would be interested to know is to just not give up.
Mm.
And also another very important thing that I have learned in my life is not to judge yourself based on just social media followers,
Mm.
because it's a social media world, and especially young girls, um, it's very difficult for them. That the pressure is huge. So the body image, the color of the skin, the hairstyle, it's like all the appearance. So the young girls are really judging themselves based on the Instagram followers or YouTube followers or TikTok followers. This is not you. You are way more and way more special than just numbers of followers, right?
Mm.
So once you find that out, once you find your true face and your true goal and passion, just go for that.
Mm.
And then you would see the followers come or not come. It won't really matter.
Mm.
So that's I really want to. This is what I teach my students as well. That just see yourself first, and you will see everything else after.
Yes. And one last question from me. because in this podcast is me trying to figure out my building my engaged life. So the last question that I would like to ask you is that what does living an engaged life means to you?
I think engaged life, I like it because this is where you can truly use your beliefs, your values, and you can live based on that. Because me personally, I find that if you don't know your own goal, and you know who you truly are, then it would be so confusing, because one day I will be someone else and the other day I would want to do something else just because so and so is doing it. I will not be engaged into my own purpose, my own goal. You know, if somebody's upset at me, I will be upset at her. If somebody's rude with me, I'll be rude with her. If someone is happy with me, I'm happy with her. So who am I? You know, am I good? Am I a positive person? Then yes, it's difficult to be positive when the other person is being rude to you. But this is where you have to really see that what are my values, what are my teachings, what my religion and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us. So if I have all that package with me, and if I know this whole thing, then it's just a matter of achieving things based on my intention, inshallah, and with the help of Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But yes, if I'm not sure about my life, about myself, then there's like it's too many confusions in the world like today, which is, so many competitions around, it's difficult to focus. So I really feel that it's very important to have that goal set, and you're engaged in your own goals and values and beliefs. That will be easier.
Yeah, thank you, Maria.
You're
So that will be the end of our session recording today. So thank you, Maria, for coming here.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for having me, inviting me, and letting me speak.
Yeah, that was really fun, and I think I would ask you again, invite you again later. I mean,
I would love to. Yes.
There's so many.
Pleasure.
There's so many beautiful sharings, and we would like to know what came up from the sessions that you have with your younger Muslim girls in your sessions, and maybe when the program have run and you have a little bit outcome, you share with us here.
Inshallah, I will definitely do that. Yes, inshallah.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. And again, I would like to really acknowledge having time with me today. And for those who like to know more about Maria, you can connect with her in her Instagram. It's Learn with Marias, right?
Yes.
Is it Maria with S or no?
Maria's with S, yes.
Yeah,
because
okay,
my last name is Shah, so I couldn't fit the whole thing because the name was already taken or something. So I just added S at the end.
Okay, so Instagram at Learn with Marias. Okay,
Yes.
Marias. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's all for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It was really nice, and it was a pleasure being here with you.
Okay, so see you next time.
Take care.
Take care. Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam.
Yeah.
Hi guys, if you haven't followed me already, follow me at my Instagram aliyah.majid or Facebook Dr. Aliyah Majid, and also hop on to my website draliyahmajid.com, and you can see there's lots of tips and tricks on productivity, inspiration stories, and so on that I want to share with you guys so that you can go after the life you want. Bye bye.